The Earth is saved. After a vicious battle between Cooler and Frieza that threatened to destroy their world, the Z-Fighters were able to defeat the evil brothers. Despite going through 2 intense alien invasions, the Earth endures as it enters a brief moment of peace. As Goku and Vegeta continue to train, they are unaware of the dangers heading straight towards their home. A new evil and a new ally reveal themselves now. Sins of the Fathers. What if Goku and Vegeta went to Earth together? Part 8. But first, let's try to get this video to 3,000 likes. And don't forget to subscribe and share with friends who like Dragon Ball. Then, I'll post the next part. Anyways, let's continue. It has been a few months since the defeat of Cooler and the Frieza Force. The Z-Fighters have finally returned to a sense of normalcy, at least as normal as it can get for them. Goku and Vegeta continue their training on Mount Paozu. They had been training their entire lives for the sole purpose of defeating Frieza, but now that he was gone, they needed a new purpose to fight, and they found that purpose in each other. These two brothers created a new goal for themselves: train and better themselves, so that they might fight each other again someday, to prove who is the better warrior. However, the pair don't train by themselves. Gohan and Trunks accompany them to Mount Paozu, where they receive guidance from not only their fathers, but Grandpa Gohan and Piccolo. A while back, Piccolo had arrived to face off against Goku and Vegeta, but after seeing Trunks and Gohan sloppy fighting during their sparring match, he decided his time would be better spent whipping these kids back into shape. Little Gohan was drawn to his great-grandfather's kind words, while Trunks was drawn to Piccolo's harsh training regimens. Yet, the boys loved them greatly. It was during one of these training sessions that Grandpa Gohan heads out to take a quick break. Everyone stopped what they were doing. A chill went down their spines, sweat dripped from their faces. Gohan and Trunks turned to their fathers, asking them if they felt the same. There was an evil key as Piccolo grits his teeth. It felt familiar. This couldn't be Frieza and Cooler, could it? Vegeta breaks his cup of tea in frustration. He knew who this was. This wasn't either of those bastards. It was their father, King Cold. Vegeta cursed under his breath. He was a fool for thinking Cold wouldn't be after them. Goku put his hand on Vegeta, telling him to calm down. They needed to meet up with the others, fast. Vegeta nodded and told the boys to stay behind, but they refused. They wanted to fight as well. Piccolo reminded the boys that this would be dangerous, but the resolve did not waver. Goku chuckled. They were acting like true Saiyans, alright. They could use as much help as they could get. And so Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Trunks, and Piccolo fly up to the sky, blasting off as Grandpa Gohan wishes them good luck. The heroes reunite with the other Z-Fighters near a wasteland as they wait for the threat. Yamcha comments on how they need a break. This is their 3rd alien invasion in a row. Sure enough, the Frieza Force mothership touched down on the grounds as they all lined up. From out of the ship descended none other than King Cold. There was no doubt about it. He was somehow far stronger than Frieza and Cooler. Vegeta doesn't understand how this is possible. Everything he had heard about King Cold seemed to indicate that he was weaker than his sons. The monarch greets the Z-Fighters, thanking them for granting him an audience in such short notice. He introduced himself while complimenting the Earthlings in killing his sons. However, King Cold's smile was quickly replaced with a look of pure anger. His condescending tone changed as he tells these lower life forms that seeing his precious boys being maimed so horribly made him desire one thing: revenge. Revenge for what they did to his boys, and for dishonoring his clan. For that, they would die. Sweat falls down Vegeta's face as he shakes his head. Even if him and Kakarot used all their power, they wouldn't be enough. The Z-Fighters prepared to battle to the death. But before they could take another step, a mysterious figure appears atop of the rock formation, jumping up and slamming down between the heroes. It was a young girl with blue hair and a Capsule Corp jacket with a sword. For a moment, Goku and Vegeta mistake this stranger for Bulma. King Cold asks who she is, as she says that she will defeat him. King Cold simply laughed. The stranger smiles directly at King Cold. She roars as a golden aura sparks around her. Everyone looked in shock. The mysterious stranger turned into a Super Saiyan. Without wasting any time, she decimates the Frieza Force soldiers and quickly defeats King Cold. The king cried out that this wasn't meant to happen. The doctor promised that he'd be strong enough to kill those blasted Saiyans. The stranger admits that she doesn't care what he has to say. using the sword to slice the king into pieces and blasting him away. The Z-Fighters look on in awe. Goku asks Vegeta if he knew the other Saiyan, but Vegeta has no clue. He thought they were the only Saiyans left besides Raditz. The mystery girl powers down and introduces herself to the Z-Fighters, shaking everyone's hand and telling them she's a huge fan. Krillin asks how she knows them, but she ignores the question. Tien points out that she's wearing a Capsule Corp jacket, and he's ignored as well. Yamcha looks at her carefully, complimenting her on her style and hair. This actually gets a reaction out of her, as she brags about how it took her hours to make her hair look this good. Gohan looks in awe. He thought she was really cool. In contrast, Trunks just shrugs. Yeah, she was strong, but kind of annoying. After rambling on about her hair, the mystery girl finally remembers what she was here to do. She asks to speak to Goku privately about something, far away from the group. She introduces herself as Bra, and she's a traveler from the future, Vegeta and Bulma's daughter. Goku was surprised, but it made sense. Bra only had one reason to be there. She traveled through time to warn them of a great evil. 3 years from now, a pair of androids would appear to kill all of the Z-Fighters. Her father and uncle would die of a heart virus shortly before the attack. Without them, the Earth's defenders quickly fell. Her mother always believed that if Goku and Vegeta were alive, they would have been able to stop these androids. After handing over the medicine and telling him to make his dad drink it as well, she disappears in a time machine. But before she does, she turns around to hug Goku, telling her uncle that she's glad to finally meet him. Goku hugs her back, and she promises to return in 3 years. Naturally, everyone has a lot of questions for Goku. Thankfully, Piccolo had overheard the conversation, and he explained to everyone the Traveler's warning. Vegeta can't believe that a lousy heart virus denied him the chance of facing this new challenge. He and Kakarot would survive this time. They would be the ones to turn those machines into scrap. And so, a new period of training begins, as Bulma prepares a gravity chamber for the Z-Fighters. Gohan and Trunks are the ones to improve the most, with Trunks greatly enjoying it, unlike Gohan, who was a little bit more timid about battles, though everyone around them was aware of just how much potential Gohan had. Soon enough, 3 years passed on by. The Z-Fighters reunited on a cliff overlooking a massive city. When Trunks and Vegeta arrive, everyone is surprised to not only see Bulma, but also a baby she's holding. Well, everyone except Goku. Goku's happy to see little Bra, but Bulma's suspicious. How did Goku know her daughter's name? Goku nervously tries to back off the question. The Z-Fighters spring into action, leaping off a cliff and flying towards an explosion. Vegeta gives the boys a mission to keep Bulma and Bra safe. It doesn't take long for Yamcha to spot 2 familiar figures. Before he can yell out, an invisible force holds his mouth shut as he is lifted to the sky. 2 mysterious voices ring out across the city, cutting through the silence like a knife. The Z-Fighters sense this energy drop. They gather together to find not only a dying Yamcha, but Frieza and Cooler standing before them. They look different than before, mechanical parts protruding from their faces, arms and legs, and their ki was non-existent. The Z-Fighters look in complete shock and anger. Vegeta's ki breaks out around him as he demands to know how the hell they survived. Frieza chuckles. It was delightful to see that these monkeys are still as crude and crass as ever. He explains that after their previous battle, they floated in space, barely clinging to life. However, they were found by their loyal soldiers and, after years of cybernetic enhancements, they were rebuilt to be stronger than they had ever been before. Cooler smiles maliciously, declaring that they had returned to seek revenge. Vegeta steps forward, ready to fight, but Goku puts a hand on his shoulder. He wanted to fight first. Frieza likewise asks to be able to challenge the monkeys first, and Cooler obliged. Goku requests that they move the fight somewhere else, where no one else can get hurt, but Frieza shrugs his shoulders. Why bother doing that when they could just clear the board? Without warning, Frieza blasts down towards the city, releasing a massive explosion as the Z-Fighters try to get away from the blast. In that single moment, the entire city is reduced to ash. Goku is enraged, bursting into Super Saiyan. Without another word, the two clash. The battle is so intense, it threatens to destroy the island. Vegeta and Cooler watch on, analyzing the battle. It seems as though Goku and Frieza's power are dead even. It was so close, it was impossible to tell who had the upper hand. But the turning point came when, as he attempted to charge a Kamehameha, Goku started to cough violently. He fell onto one knee, gripping his chest. Frieza took this opportunity to charge in and pummel our hero. The Z-Fighters watched on in disbelief. Something was wrong with Goku. Vegeta suddenly realized what was going on. The heart virus. Not wanting his brother to be beaten to a pulp, Vegeta transformed into Super Saiyan and rushed forward. However, he's suddenly stopped by Cooler. It looked like he wouldn't allow anyone to interfere with Frieza's fight. As Vegeta battles Cooler, Frieza continues to pummel Goku into the ground. Goku falls out of Super Saiyan, gasping for air as Frieza pulls him up with his tail. Frieza is ready to kill Goku, but a sword swings down, cutting through Frieza's tail. He screams in pain as everyone turns around to see the golden hair of the time traveler. Goku coughs, thinking bra. Vegeta's eyes widened. Did you just say bra? The swordsman face palms. It looks like the jig is up. She turns to face Frieza and Cooler as Vegeta stands beside her. He scolds Bra, demanding to know why she didn't tell them that Frieza and Cooler were the androids. But she shakes her head. These were not the androids from her future. As the Z fighters are felt reeling from this shocking revelation, the Cold brothers merely look on in annoyance. Another Super Saiyan. They were reproducing like rabbits. Bra snickers, telling these overgrown lizards that she's going to take them down. After all, she already took care of their father. The Cold's eyes widened. This must be the one who killed him then. This insolence will not stand. It was another family brawl, a father and a daughter versus two brothers. Vegeta noted that this future Bra was definitely stronger than she was the last time they saw her. But for now, Cooler seemed to still be in his fourth form. If he transformed beyond that, they'd be doomed. Krillin pulled Goku away from the fight, giving him a senzu bean. That didn't cure the virus. It only seemed to make things worse. Vegeta yells out to Tien they needed to fall back. The Triclops nods, and with Krillin's help, they perform a double solar flare, blinding Cooler and Frieza, giving the Z-Fighters enough chance to escape. Once their vision cleared, the Z-Fighters were gone, but Cooler told Frieza not to fret. They will catch up to them, and the Z-Fighters will suffer a fate worse than death. They fly up to the sky, a pair of death beams being formed. With a casual flick of their fingers, they hurl it at the island beneath them, decimating it. Many miles away, the Z-Fighters regroup with Roshi, Bulma, and Trunks. Chi-Chi and Gohan then arrive with the hard medicine that Goku hadn't taken. Vegeta stomps over to Chi-Chi, snatching the hard medicine, going up to Goku and shoving it down his throat. He was extremely upset. The others try to pull Vegeta off, as he curses wildly at Kakarot for being such a colossal idiot. Future Bra laughs loudly, wiping a tear from her eye. She hadn't laughed this much in years. Future Bra puts her hands over her mouth, as everyone besides Piccolo and Vegeta gasp. Vegeta quickly clears up the misunderstanding, revealing to everyone that this time traveler was actually his daughter from the future. Bulma looks at her up and down, before exclaiming happily that she's glad to have raised such a cute girl. She definitely has her mom's sense of style. As Goku rests upstairs, Bra explains everything. In her timeline, only a few weeks after she was born, her father and uncle died from a heart virus. At the time, there was no cure, so there was nothing they could do. Her mother theorized that perhaps the heart virus originated from Mount Paozu, but there was never a definitive confirmation. 6 months after the deaths, 2 androids suddenly appeared, named 17 and 18. The twins killed off the remaining Z-Fighters and laid waste to humanity. Even a resistance force, led by Master Roshi and Grandpa Gohan, couldn't do anything against the overwhelming power, dying as well. With Piccolo dead, Kami was gone, which meant no Dragon Balls. The only Z-Fighters left were Bulma, Gohan, Trunks, and Bra. Gohan and Trunks spent many years training Bra, while they tried their best to protect what was left of humanity. At first, Bra didn't want to train or fight. All she wanted to do was stay with her mother and learn how to design clothes. But over time she realized that this world was not meant for that. She needed to learn how to protect her mother in case anything happened to the other 2 Saiyans. Bra started to see Trunks and Gohan as father figures, and they were both very protective of her. One day, when she was only 14 years old, Gohan and Trunks decided to confront the androids one last time, after many years of training. Bra was excited, she really thought they could do it. But once it came time for the confrontation, Bra watched in awe, and witnessed Gohan and Trunks fight for the fate of the world. They seemed to be equal to the androids in terms of strength, and they had an unbreakable bond. They fought for what seemed like hours on end, and it seemed like they won. Bra comes out of hiding, ready to celebrate. However, Trunks' eyes widen as he yelled at her to run away. Before she has a chance to react, Bra is grabbed by a massive tail with a stinger. A menacing monster unlike anything they had ever seen before appeared, demanding to know what happened to androids 17 and 18. Gohan yelled at the monster to let Bra go, that they were just defeated. Enraged, the android threw Bra towards the ruins of a haunted house attraction, knocking her out. She had no idea how long she was unconscious for. All she knew was that when she woke up, she couldn't sense anyone nearby. She crawled out of the wreckage, looking around the destroyed amusement park, screaming out for Gohan and Trunks until she found them. In the pouring rain, she discovered the bodies of her masters, her brother and her cousin, the people she loved most in the world. Consumed by overwhelming grief, Bra screamed out, pushing her to achieve Super Saiyan. But Bra didn't care anymore. Gohan and Trunks were dead. What was she supposed to do now? Over the next few years, Bra continued to train, as her mother developed a time machine. Bra was the only protector of Earth now, rescuing any survivor she could from the demon that killed her family. She never learned the creature's name, origins, nor purpose. It simply roamed the wastelands, devouring any creature it came across. Until finally Bulma finished the time machine, and she vowed to bring back hope. Back in the present, the Z-Fighters stayed quiet upon hearing Bra's story. Bulma cries softly, rushing to hug her daughter. To everyone's surprise, Gohan, Trunks, and even Vegeta come in to comfort Bra. Krillin was the first to speak up, asking if this monster was Frieza or Cooler. Bra shakes her head. No, this creature was nothing like them. It was a large, bug-like creature with green skin and wings. He had a stinger, and it would use it to drink people. However, the strangest thing about the beast was its ki. Bra could swear she could sense ki of multiple different people within it. She couldn't tell who they were at the time, but now that she's in the past, she could tell whose energy she sensed. Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Frieza, Cooler, and King Cold. She recognized those key signatures as the ones she felt inside that monster. Krillin gulps as Piccolo grits his teeth. So, not only do they have to deal with Frieza, Cooler, and those two other androids, but there's a monster that could show up at any point that's stronger than any of them. He stands up, declaring that he can't just sit around and wait. Bra asks how they can possibly stand up against them, as Piccolo looks over to Vegeta. It was time to tell them about the Room of Spirit and Time. After leaving behind Goku at Kami House to rest, the Z-Fighters head over to Kami's lookout. Kami is well aware of the reason why they're there, as Popo leads them to the time chamber. According to him, only 2 people can enter at once, as there's only enough supplies for a pair. Vegeta scoffs, so this is how he and Kakarot improved so quickly back then. Without hesitation, Vegeta grabs little Trunks as he tells his son they'll be going in first. Before Trunks can even protest, Vegeta was already dragging him into the room. As the Z-Fighters wait for Vegeta and Trunks to finish their training, Piccolo approaches Kami. He asks how the old god knows. Kami looks at Piccolo, letting him know that he's been ready to merge for a while. He's known for a long time that Piccolo's heart had changed. Goku and Vegeta helped him turn into a good person. Piccolo scowls, placing his hand on Kami's chest as he yells at him to get this over with. Kami chuckles. It was finally time to reunite. The 2 Namekians merged together, reforming into the ancient Namekian of old. The Z-Fighters are shocked by this. This wasn't just Piccolo or Kami, it was completely new and so powerful, although everyone calls him Piccolo from now on. The Namekian then senses a horrifying power. Piccolo was able to detect the faint remnants of Cooler and Frieza's ki. They weren't completely mechanized after all, but what concerned Piccolo the most, however, was where they were heading, Kame House, right towards Goku. Realizing that there wasn't any more time to waste, Piccolo yells at everyone to stay put. He was heading over to Kame House quickly. As Roshi, Grandpa Gohan, and Chi-Chi ask what's happening, Piccolo yells at them on the carpet as Popo had teleported over to them, getting Goku and teleporting out of there. Popo returns to the lookout with the others as the Z Fighters gather together. What are they going to do now? Simply wait until Vegeta finishes training and Piccolo fights Frieza and Cooler alone? Tien is frustrated, but it's Bra who feels truly useless. They have to act. It's at that point when Bulma remembers something important. The two androids from Bra's story, 17 and 18. The person who built them was Dr. Gero, right? Bra nods, and Bulma snaps her fingers. If that's true, then she knows where his lab might be. Bra stands up with excitement. This might be their chance. If the androids aren't activated and are still in Gero's lab, then they have a chance to stop them without even having to fight. This is a huge risk, however. Who knows if those androids are active or not? Besides, she wants to visit the lab for herself. It's not like any of them besides Bulma can understand the notes. Gohan chimes in enthusiastically. He wants to come too. It's like going on an adventure. Reluctantly, Bra accepts, and Bulma pops out a capsule core plane. Eventually, they make their way to Gero's lab. After blasting down the door with a ki blast, the trio are amazed at what they see. Several giant pods labeled with numbers, notes and documents scatter about, schematics for the androids, and one referencing a final project named Cell. Bulma is intrigued, and she begins to read them, while Gohan and Bra approach the pods. They discover a couple of them with people sleeping inside. One of them was a giant man she didn't recognize, but the other two, Bra knew them all too well, androids 17 and 18. She begins to charge up a Gallic gun, but Bulma and Gohan tell her to wait. With these schematics, they can be reprogrammed. Bra wasn't listening, yelling out that these robots needed to be stopped. At the same time, Piccolo meditates at Kame House, concentrating deeply, when he hears the knock on the door. He approaches the door to meet face to face with Frieza and Cooler. Back at the lab, Bra is about to fire the ki blast when several loud footsteps echo across the lab. Bra's eyes widen in fear. She recognizes those dreadful, damn footsteps. Bra, Bulma, and Gohan slowly turn around to see an old man and a massive green monster next to him. Bra shakes as she sees the creature next to Gero. This was the monster that killed her masters. Gero notices Bra's fearful expression, and he chuckles. Was she scared of his little creation? Well, she should be. This is the culmination of decades of research in bioengineering. This is his greatest creation. The bio-android created from cells from the greatest warriors in the universe. After experiencing the terrifying might of the androids, the Z Fighters find themselves staring into the true face of evil. As Piccolo stands before the mechanized Frieza and Cooler, Bra and her family are cornered by Dr. Gero and his greatest weapon, the genetic abomination known as Cell. Can our heroes survive against these villainous machines and stop Cell from reaching his perfect form? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This was What If Goku and Vegeta Went to Earth Together, the beginning of the Android Saga. Huge thank you to Professor Chimp for helping me out with the story, and my good friend Chris for editing it. What did you guys think of this future Bra? She was designed by Kobe Fasion. As always, thank you so much to the patrons of the channel. It's thanks to you guys that I'm able to commission art and editors. Angel MR, Jamont Bourgeois, Seven McCullough, True Lightning Striker, Squad 100, Ghost 1571, PJ9D III, Lee Orchidas, Gabriel Scott, Orange Bag YT, Trent Rolls, D-Man Plays, Jim G, Drum Foster, D Miles, The Gaming Galaxy, Dakota Kaiser, Salil Paranjape, Keith Grimes, Celestia, Dreadpool, The Baked Potato, and the OG, the real Samuel Randall. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed, and until we meet again, see ya!
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to SmugStick for the best Dragon Ball what-ifs out there.